Welcome back to another episode of the Behavioral Economics and Marketing Podcast series. This is Sandra Thomas-Comenole. This season is entitled Lessons from the Fire, in which I will explore behavioral economics, marketing, professional, and personal development through the lens of having recently experienced a natural disaster. In this episode, I will be kicking off a series on Maslow's hierarchy of needs with an introduction. So jumping in, what is Maslow's hierarchy of needs? Maslow's hierarchy of needs is a rudimentary motivational theory by Abraham Maslow, presented in 1943 in his article entitled A Theory of Human Motivation, originally published in Psychological Review. The psychology theory asserts that humans are motivated by 5 principal categories of needs: physiological, safety, love, esteem, and self-actualization. In other words, Maslow proposed that human motivations stem from needs that can be arranged in a hierarchy that range from basic needs for food, water, and housing to higher level needs such as education and self-fulfillment. Maslow's hierarchy of needs is most often depicted in a pyramid shape, with the most pressing and basic of needs the largest category and the basis of growth upwards. Maslow's hierarchy of needs can be seen throughout our lives as a great motivator in business and marketing as well as in our personal decision-making. For example, a classic example of how Maslow's hierarchy of needs can be seen in a macroeconomic setting is during elections. Politicians often play to the struggling classes, especially in developing countries, where a huge portion of the population are still struggling to meet their basic physiological needs. They will promise special prices on food, gas, and housing. They will promise more and better paying jobs, more benefits. The truth is that a huge portion of people who are living under the poverty line can care more about these things, such as housing, food, safety, than they do about who the next politician will be. I also want to point out that it is not a hard and fast rule. In recent years, there are many people who believe their very safety depends on who the next politician will be. On a more microeconomic level, pensions and benefits offer an excellent example of how Maslow's hierarchy of needs come into play in our personal, professional, and business decisions. Companies that offer pensions or other benefits attract more employees. Benefits like pensions are an important part of the social needs, which make the individual satisfied physically as well as emotionally. It's an example of safety needs. Some people choose to stay at dead-end or unhappy jobs because of the health or retirement benefits. This is because they need their safety needs fulfilled before they can even think about their self-actualization needs. So let's apply this to marketing. Lessons from the Fire on Maslow's Hierarchy of Needs. This season is dedicated to lessons that I learned from the recent wildfire in Boulder, Colorado that affected my family. The lessons will span personal, professional, behavioral, and in relation to marketing, business, leadership, and personal and professional development. And in a brief recap, on December 30th, my husband spotted a wall of fire at least as tall as our house in our backyard. We called 911 and they had no idea that the wildfire was anywhere near our neighborhood. We evacuated our house within 3 minutes of when we first saw the fire. We didn't grab anything. Our kids ran out in their jammies with no coat and 2 of them without shoes on their feet. That was the last time we saw our house. We left everything and found ourselves for the first time in our lives in the basic needs category of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And though I studied Maslow's hierarchy of needs several times during my college years, it never meant as much to me as it did during the days and weeks that followed the fire. From day to day, we often didn't know where we would be staying. We moved from hotel to Airbnb to hotel to a short-term rental. In the hotels, we had only a small refrigerator and a microwave in which to store and prepare food, which is very difficult for a family of 6. This housing and food insecurity, though only temporary, consumed our lives. It made it difficult to think about anything but our basic needs. As fire survivors, we were often asked, "What do you need?" This open-ended question was impossible to answer. We only needed a home. As I said, in my entire life, I have never had to struggle with basic needs, and many Americans are in that same position. But on the other hand, we as marketers often target people who are in the basic needs level of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. In the next episode, I will go a little more into depth on Maslow's hierarchy, defining the categories and types of needs even further. Wrapping it up, understanding how we as humans make decisions is an important part of marketing. Behavioral economics is the study of decision making and can give keen insight into buyer behavior and help to shape your marketing mix. Maslow's hierarchy of needs is a rudimentary motivational theory by Abraham Maslow, presented in 1943 in his article entitled A Theory of Human Motivation, originally published in Psychological Review. The psychology theory asserts that humans are motivated by 5 basic categories of needs: physiological, safety, love, esteem, and self-actualization. In this episode, I define Maslow's hierarchy of needs while giving popular examples in macroeconomics, microeconomics, and personal and professional development. If you are enjoying the Behavioral Economics and Marketing podcast, please leave us a review, like it, share it with your friends and family, and follow us online. Thank you for listening to another episode of Behavioral Economics and Marketing. This is Sandra Thomas-Comenole.